Now we're going to lighten things up and raise the smell here in our studio. We've got the Irishman in with Joe in the kitchen.
That's right, Vic. They're going to be here every Friday from now on. Oh, yeah? Until they're run out of recipes to talk about. That shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. You guys are great. This is Chef Tom, by the way. Thanks again for joining us this morning. We did wings last week because of Wing Week, by the way, and I tried to go home and produce that at home with the Guinness and everything.
How'd it work out for you?
I enjoyed the Guinness. Let's put it that way.
Well,
so
that's the most important thing.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Today we're cooking brisket.
Yes, we're cooking a corned beef brisket, a little cabbage, carrots, show how to do that, and then we're going to do a Reuben with the leftovers.
Very traditional Italian meal. I mean Irish meal. All right, so what do we have as far as the ingredients goes? I know when you buy a brisket, you get this spice
you'll get
sack
a small
with
little,
it, right?
Yeah, you'll get a small little pack of pickling spice, but we get larger amounts than that. And pretty much got bay leaf, peppercorns, and other spices in there.
Great smell out of that.
Yeah, that's what gives a lot of flavor. I mean, it comes with a little bit on there, but you always want to add a little bit more to it.
Okay.
Yeah, but then we're going to chop up some onion, celery, carrots, throw it in there, throw it in the oven, and let it go for, usually let it go for a few hours, but we've got one partially cooked. We cheated a little bit here just to make things a little bit easier for us.
Cheating is allowed here on Winging It. We encourage it for all of our chefs. And that up on the screen right now, you can see everything you need. And most of the stuff you can get in a supermarket, no problem, right?
All right, everything's pretty standard. Yeah, I mean, onions, celery, carrots, pretty basic. And then from there, you're just going to, I mean, basically just takes time.
That's what I was going to say. How long does this take from start to finish normally if I'm trying this at home?
Well, depending on the size of the brisket, depending on the size of that, you're going to want to go anywhere between 2 and 3 hours. The larger briskets, we generally do for around 3 hours.
Okay, what are we cooking today? How big is that guy there?
Well, this is cooked down a little bit, but normally that's, I mean, that's a pretty large one. That's what we get in at the restaurant. We'll get probably 10 to 12 portions out of one of those.
Okay, I can't take my eye off it right now. I mean, you put a big piece of meat in front of me like that. And what do we got in the pot here?
That is the corned beef au jus. When we cook that down, we save the, everything that cooks down from the previous one, and we use that as we cook the other stuff to kind of, as we cook the carrots and the celery, or the cabbage, and gives everything kind of a little more flavor.
Good stuff. We got like 2 seconds. This is a very popular dish at the Irishman, I bet, huh?
Yeah, the corned beef and cabbage, and of course the Reuben. Those are two of the standards at the Irishman. So.
All right, so we're making one of the standards today in the kitchen. Vic, we're going to send it back to you right now. Can't wait. Welcome back. We're with Chef Tom from the Irishman Pub and Eatery in Williamsville. Thanks again for joining us this Friday. Like we said last Friday, you guys made some wings. Today we're making brisket, and we're getting it prepared right now. Let's just show the folks at home if we can get a tight shot of the actual piece of meat we're dealing with here. This is a what did you say, 3 pounds?
Yeah, I mean, probably a little bit more than that. It cooked down a little bit. But that's a corned beef brisket. That's one of the, that's a rather large-sized one that we use at the restaurant. And this one's partially cooked, so this is uncooked. It's going to look a little bit different when you buy it, but this is partially cooked just to, in the interest of saving time.
Of course. Now you have it soaking a little bit, right?
Right. We've already put a little. You want to put a little bit of water in there, and a little bit. We've reserved some corned beef au jus from the previous one we cooked, and put a little bit of that for flavor.
Like reduces down when you cook it. Okay.
And then you get the flavor in there. And then
Now you're going to chop up some veggies here.
Chop up some veggies here. You can leave the skin on for these. It doesn't for the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. Cool.
At this point, this is for flavor, so this doesn't really matter.
This is creating kind of like a stock to soak the meat
As it's going to cook in, it's going to cook a stock with all that.
And the red onion's kind of sweet, so that might give it a little sweetness, I guess.
Give it a little flavor.
A little flavor. You got a regular white onion in there.
Got all this stuff.
All right, we got. Oh, I like that. If I did that, I would end up with like 3 fingers.
I've done that before, but my knife skills have come a long way.
You know what you're doing. We got some carrots here. We got about 15 seconds. So basically, the idea is to chop all this up like Bugs Bunny would if he's making a stew.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to worry about a pretty dice or anything on this. Pretty much just flavor, right? You're gonna put it in there, and it's just gonna cook it for a while and let everything develop.
All right, can't wait. We're going to be back for our longer segment, get really involved with this piece of meat. We'll have the finished product coming up. Right now, we're going to send things to Allie Hartwick, our CW star, who's live downtown.
We're going to head off into the Wild Blue kitchen with Joe.
Hey, I don't know if you guys can smell it over there, but it smells like St. Patrick's Day in the kitchen right now. We're traditional meal here with Chef Tom from the Irishman in Williamsville. We're getting this giant brisket ready, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much still going to work on throwing in the rest of the vegetable for that.
And you were saying you want to soak it in some water, and then, as you can see here, add all of that, all those vegetables in there for flavor,
all the vegetables in there, the celery, the carrots for flavor.
And the spice packet you normally get, or
normally it's not quite that much. Yeah, we'll put a little bit more of the spice in there, the pickling spice.
Now, what's in that again?
Looks like bay leaves, you got peppercorn, you got all sorts of spices in there.
Oh, it smells great. It really does. So you're throwing in some celery, you got some carrots, red onion and white onion, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's, personal preference. I just figured, the more the merrier with it.
Absolutely. Now, what's this little spice you created here?
This is what we use at the Irishman. It's called Magic. We got a little mixture of salt, onion, onion, salt, garlic, and pepper, and we season a lot of stuff.
Well, that sounds like a great. I could put that on anything.
Yeah,
put it on toast and eat it.
It tastes good.
Okay, so we got it.
Pickling spice over here.
Oh yeah, my bad. I was hiding that.
It's all right. Throw some of that on there.
Oh, it's great. It really this is reminding me of St. Patrick's Day right now. It's great, isn't it? Now I bet on St. Patty's Day at the restaurant, this is probably a very big dish besides the beer.
Besides all the Guinness and all the beer, we'll probably go through anywhere. I mean, cases and cases of these.
Are you
30 cases?
You guys put in a special order for this amount for that day?
Yeah, we start ordering those in advance, and we start setting up for everything.
You definitely, because everyone knows the Irishman. That's the place to be on St. Patty's Day. You want to get there early and reserve your spot, right?
You do. It's tough. You got to get in there early, but it's the best Irish food in Buffalo.
All right, and you guys are having a pre-St. Patty's Day thing, or did you already have that, or what's going on?
We're having the halfway to St. Patrick's Day party. Yes, and that is coming up the next weekend, not this weekend, but the next one at the Irishman, and. Yep, it's going to be Irish dancers, everything, a tent out front on Main Street. It's going to be pretty much our normal St. Patrick's Day party.
My wife's a former Irish dancer. Can I get her down there?
Sure, get her in there. I'm sure there's room for it.
You hear that, Mary? I don't know if you're listening. Well, you're probably at school right now teaching our young. All right, we're going to put this in the oven
right now.
What do you have it set at, around 400 or 420? What is this?
Yeah, I believe I have it at 400. I have it at 400 right now. That's a nice, good temp to go, and generally you're going to want to give that like 2 to 3 hours.
2 to 3 hours?
At that point, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, from uncooked. I mean, this one's partially cooked, so it's going to be ready quicker. But
absolutely. Now, what size piece of meat was that again? 3-poundish?
Yeah, I mean, probably bigger than that. I mean, I didn't weigh it or anything before I came in, but it was one of our larger ones. So, I mean, generally, one you buy in the store is going to be like maybe a quarter of that. You might want to do a little bit less time.
Maybe an hour a pound, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it works out that way.
Okay, what else are we going to do? We're going to prepare some other stuff here.
Well, I'm just going to chop up some cabbage here. We're going to chop that up to serve with the corned beef. Obviously, you got to have the corned beef and cabbage. You know,
absolutely.
All right, so we're going to chop that in. We got the water boiling over there.
Yeah. Now, what do we have in each pot here again? I just wanted to make sure.
Well, that was when he cooked the last corned beef briskets and everything. We save all the pretty much save all the water that we had in that pan.
It smells.
And then you add that and then pretty much you add that in and
drop that in there.
Drop that. Let that come to a boil. You're going to let that soften up.
And that's going to absorb, even though it's cabbage, it'll still absorb a lot of that flavor.
You get all that flavor, right? Pretty much, unless you do that, you're just cooking it basically in water. So you want to have some of the corned beef flavor in there.
So that's a good tip. You want to save whatever you have left over, the juices of that corned beef if you made it before.
As a general rule, right? I mean, pretty much with anything with cooking, you want to save any stocks or any sort of anything like that, so you can use in the future.
I never think of doing that, but that's a great idea. Absolutely. Most people, like me, I just pour it down the drain. And done,
right. You save that, then you got a head start. You got something to work with when you start the next time.
It's flavor, right? Absolutely.
All flavor.
All right, so we got some carrots going in here. Now, at the restaurant, you have a lot of traditional Irish dishes.
Right.
Can you name a couple others that people can enjoy down there?
Sure. We have shepherd's pie with lamb meat, which root vegetable, everything. That's one of our more popular dishes.
Great on a nice cold day, for sure.
Oh yeah, the shepherd's pie. Now that we're getting back into winter, that's going to be more of a popular dish.
That's right. You said the W word, man. Just relax, all right? We got fall, don't we? Isn't there fall?
That's right. I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun, but
that's okay.
It does seem like it's going pretty quick right now.
All right, it is going quick. We only got about 30 seconds. Let's get that finished product out.
All right.
At least show the folks at home what it's going to look like.
We can show you what it'll look like at the Irishman when you're
I really I've been waiting to taste it all day, so I've got my fork ready.
You're ready to go.
Ready to go. Like we said, 3 hours maybe for that piece of meat.
Right. You're going to give that depending on size, but
now
be very careful. The plate's very hot here.
This is what we're going to get. What I'm going to get.
That's what you're going to get at the Irishman. Yep. You got the cabbage, the carrots. We have our coquina mashed potatoes on there, and then there's the corned beef, of course.
All right, Chef Tom from The Irishman. He's here every Friday now, cooking up delicious meals like this. We're going to be right back after the break, and we got a great second helping. We're going to kind of deconstruct what we have on the plate here into a traditional classic dish. So stay with us for that. Cheers. Welcome back. We're in the kitchen right now. Chef Tom from The Irishman's busy working a second helping here, and we're making Reuben.
We are making a Reuben. Right. I gave it away the last time.
We both did. Anyway, so you're basically putting the brisket in the pan with some coleslaw, right?
Right. That's sauerkraut.
Oh,
actually.
Sauerkraut coleslaw. Right. What am I thinking?
This is our finished product. This is the corned beef brisket that magically cooked there in the 5 minutes.
And pretty much a special oven here.
Yeah, it's a magic oven.
Yep.
And now we have all our corned beef is all heated up. We have Thousand Island or our marble rye.
How do you make a Thousand Island dressing, by the way?
Thousand Island is pretty much just, you're going to add ketchup, you're going to add a little relish and mayonnaise, and you mix it up to the right consistency.
Relish, that's what gives it that little...
it gives it that
kind of flavor.
Yep.
Okay.
This is pretty much the way we do it at the Irishman right here, little.
Now, I would imagine on St. Patrick's Day, of course, this is probably a really popular dish. It's easy to eat. It's a quick little...
It's always a popular dish. Yeah, it's always a popular dish here. You know, it's one of our mainstays.
It's probably a little hard to eat the shepherd's pie on St. Patty's Day when you've got a giant, you know...
It is.
Keg of Guinness under your arm, but...
It's a very tough thing.
Yeah.
Let me grab a spatula.
Yeah, we've got spatulas, I think, or something that looks like
something
a spatula.
Something that will work like that.
Ah, good. To me, actually, you know, a good sandwich is a little sloppy anyway. It shouldn't be that uniform.
This should work out well for you.
Absolutely. All right, good stuff. Chef Tom from the Irishman makes a heck of a mean-looking Reuben right there. We made brisket today. We're doing it all, and these guys are going to be back every Friday cooking up a lot of stuff from their menu, and we're halfway to St. Patty's Day next weekend, right?
That's right.
At the Irishman.
That's right.
Good stuff, bud.
Appreciate
it. Right now, we're going to send things over to Allie, our CW star, who's downtown live, trying out all the new fashions.